Pow! What's happening? Good evening, everybody. Here we are for another late night ramble. Who knows? Is this going to be 30 minutes? Is this going to be 2 hours? Who knows? Got Paul Ramsey in the comments here. He says, still here, Howson. Too gutless to go fight the Russians, you piece of shit. In poor spelling. Of course it is. It's actually illegal. Because I did look into it. And like I said earlier, it's something I did look into. And I think if I was single, I probably would have gone. But I'm not single. And I've got a 3-year-old daughter and a wife. And loads of people that I employ. And it would be incredibly selfish of me to just go because I want to go. Also, fuck you. How about that? But I would say the other thing with it is, so there's this thing called the foreign enlistment policy, which I did look into. And it's basically illegal for any British. I mentioned this earlier on a Paddock pod. It's essentially illegal for any British citizen to go and take up arms in any foreign conflict unless they're there for the British government. I don't know how that works with contractors and stuff like that. But that's one of the things. Also, if you think I'm a fucking coward, just go and speak to the missus and see what she thinks. Because she'd tell you the script. But that's the bottom line is you would essentially be treated as a terrorist under the foreign enlistment policy, and you would go to jail. But like I said, I haven't said I'm going anyway. But let's see. The Red Indian, so possibly extremely offensive name, but okay, says UFOs are real. Let's talk. Yeah, I think they are. And we definitely will get into tonight's topic, I'm sure. But for now, we're just setting the groundwork of utter fucking wibble. Yeah, I definitely think they are. Have I got the dates for Paddock's last 2 games? Can't guarantee I can be there for both, but I can try. Yes, it is, I believe, the 26th and 17th of March currently. That's the last 2 league games. We do have a semi-final as well. Darren says, love the vids. Any thoughts on how we improve at fullback? Doubt we'll buy any, given other areas need. Yes. I have got a fullback, Selick, who I've got my eye on, and maybe we will get into that at some point throughout the course of the evening as well. Is the title race still on? Well, the Premier League is. I don't know about, obviously, the most important division in English football, the Lancashire and Cheshire Premier Division. I think that one's probably done. I mean, there is going to be a title race. I'm not sure we're in it anymore. We're looking at the other teams just tossing it off entirely, which I don't think will happen. Did I see the Taylor and Catterall fight? I did not, so I have no opinion on it. Where does Selick play? Right back. Alex has thought it was in a different room, but just the blinds up. I can't have the blinds up because the sun shines right through it, so I have to turn it off. I have to put them down. But otherwise, I don't like sitting in the dark rooms. I like a lot of light, me. But facing a window is never a good thing for filming videos unless it's dark. You get away with it. What can we hope for at the end of the season? Nuclear war? I don't know. Let's hope, they're cancelling all sorts of shit at the moment. I don't know, let's just hope that they cancel the last 5 seasons. Raf says, I've seen a rumour that Cavani is back in training. He can make a massive difference. He could do. He absolutely could do. Don't touch the books. Listen, the number 1 book on my desk right now has been this one. It's the one I'm currently reading. Joe White is a Liverpool fan. Says McNeil is from Droylsden, but he spelled it Drolston. I mean, good effort, valiant effort. Horrifically wrong, but good effort. Singy's one of our own when he makes his debut. You better believe the whole of M43 is going to turn up when McNeil ends up in the first team. Better believe that. So Maicon says, sad to see Spartak get kicked out. I think UEFA or FIFA have cancelled all Russian involvement in sport, haven't they? It's really interesting, actually, because they were talking about it. We were talking about it today on the Paddock Pod. And I don't want to touch on these subjects lightly because I think they're very, very serious subjects and I think they should be explored properly. Joel cut me a bit short today, and these aren't topics that you can throw a soundbite on, I don't think. I think these are topics that you have to get a full meaning out of, otherwise your point can get misstrued, and these are too sensitive a topic to allow that to happen. What I would say is, obviously I went to Iraq. I wasn't part of the invasion. I was there of, I guess, the occupation. What does that mean? I don't know. I was a lance corporal when I went. Hardly some sort of fucking general. So I don't know what that means. I was part of the reconstruction. Was it an illegal war? Well, no one's gone to jail for it. I don't know. I don't know enough about what the crack was with that. For me, it does seem a bit strange how there wasn't a lot of international pushback. I believe there was a UN resolution which essentially gives you the legal sort of rights to go and do something. Something in the corner there. I can't figure out what it is. What is it? Is it this? Oh, it's that. It's that. I was just wondering what that is. I think a UN resolution gives you the legality to go in, I believe. Again, I'm going to have to look into that and figure out what the legalities of it is. But I didn't see anyone boycotting Britain and America. I mean, America has had its hands in so many wars lately, hasn't it? I would like to think you wouldn't just be banning America from doing everything. But there you go again. It's hypocrisy if not. Although maybe different circumstances. Pie-eyed Piper says, am I aware of the new financial system being set up? What new financial system? No, I'm not. Jamie Vardy, Harry Kane, Patrick Bamford, Dogmire avoid. Not interested. Jesse March, and would he have been a good assistant to Ralph? Interesting appointment that from Leeds. Similar sort of thing, similar sort of style in the main to what you've got with Bielsa. It's not identical, but not a huge deviation. They're still going to have to work hard. There's still going to be a lot of pressing. So that might be a good lineal appointment, I think. James McCormick says, got my green and gold Paddock shirt. There was, I think Sophie's talking about 200 and some are ready to go today. So they'll be hopefully gone by the end of this week. So we're very close to everybody that's got one being going for it. How will we cope without an annoying producer at Paddock? Yeah, Cam, I believe it was his first day at his new place today. So well done for Cam. I think he's going to be at training tomorrow. I'm not at training tomorrow night actually because I'm actually at the consultants for my calf thing. So I'm going to miss training that tomorrow. Why am I on Zoom on 5 with 5 but in person on Paddocks? Well, this sounds like a lie, but it's the truth. Rio built an exact replica of our studio in London. So Rio and Joel are in London and I'm in Manchester. They're not downstairs in our place. For those who've been, our studio's on the basement and we have an office on the top floor. And Rio's built one at the New Era building in London. That honestly sounds like a lie. It is not a lie. Dexter says, why isn't Simeone considered for a job, considering it's the closest thing we're going to get to Roy Keane in modern football? Because he gets paid 36 million a year or something like that. He's on an obscene amount of money. Super chat here from Happy. It says, how long do I think it's going to take us to win a trophy? Much respect. Hope my mental health's getting better. I feel happy days, me, at the moment, to be honest with you. I honestly, a trophy, you can fluke a trophy. The league's the one you want, and I feel like we're a mile off. I think we're a mile off, yeah. Mankey says, you must have explained the studio thing a million times. It's probably not that often, actually. It's probably only a couple of times, but I guess most people have missed it. Brian says, playing FIFA this week as United manager, and even in the game, the club say social media exposure and marketing is more important than winning trophies. Fucking hell. Will there be a new show on Rio's channel? There's going to be lots of new shows. Peter says, changed a lot. We need a build-up like the Magpies. I mean, not really. Have I watched Dope Sick? No. What's Dope Sick? Rate every manager post Fergie. I'll rank them for you. Ollie, Louis, Jose, Moyes. Not really going to rank Giggs and Carrick. I think they both did really good jobs as like caretakers. Do we have worldwide recruitment for Stretford Paddock? For what? For the football team? The football team, no. I mean, yes, but no, because can you get to Hardwick to train 2-3 times a week? Otherwise, no. Someone's saying there's bird shit on the window. No, there isn't. You might not be able to tell, actually, but that's a light. If I turn this off, you'll see it. Maybe not. That's a light. That's going to flash on and off now because that's what it does. Yeah, it's actually a care home at the back of ours. Anand said, should United do a self-imposed transfer limit of, say, 30 million max per transfer? No, but they do need to. They definitely need to have a more sensible approach to transfers, I think. Dexter says, thoughts on the Athletic report of Poch being the favourite and most likely for the job. If anyone's been listening to me for a while, I've been saying I think he's going to be the same one. Anthony says here, Steve, Liz Truss said the same rules that stop people fighting against ISIS don't apply with Ukraine, meaning it can go out but on your own, and that's why Putin raised the nuclear preparation levels. Interesting. I do know that all you got to do is email the Ukrainian embassy and tell them, hey, I'm available. But I'm not available, so I wouldn't do that. Madav says, Ralph looks like he's building something certainly better than Poch. Is it really Baz to give him the job? I'd give it him. I'd give it him over Poch 1,000. I'd give it fucking Rooney over Poch. Love the videos, thank you. Do you think it's possible to sign a centre-back as a striker and as well as a midfielder? Possible, unlikely though, I would think. Yeah, I would say probably a little bit on the unlikely side. Thomas Mitchell, love to see a Paddock studio. Will we ever do a recorded tour? My Patreon has got a vlog in there where you can see all the behind the scenes, which is regular. And I think the members stuff on Paddock also does a lot of behind the scenes stuff as well. Rizzle says, evening Steve, just watched Sunday's Paddock game. How do you keep your cools? Well, anyone who's there will know that I didn't necessarily keep my cool. And I didn't have a mic on this week. And we'll just leave it at that, shall we? Sam North says, been watching videos for a while, but never heard you say too much on De Gea. What are my thoughts on him? I think he's a good captain. I don't know about that. I think he's a great shot stopper, but I think he needs to be a bit more of a sweeper keeper. He's got to come off his line far more. And there's a lot more other stuff. There's a lot more other stuff that needs boxing off. Mikey says, is the studio on Steve's Patreon or is it in Paddock? There's probably way more of... The Paddock do a lot more, or the fan channel even, do a lot more videos sort of just on the same set, but with different content. There is the studio on my Patreon, which is like a parody of The Office, which you'll see every room upstairs and downstairs and go through them. Yeah, it's officially the International Ukrainian Brigade. Yeah, I think that might not be the correct name, actually. Let me just double check. Not that I've screenshot it or anything, that I'm having to check. was the International Legion. You was close. The International Legion for the Territorial Defence of Ukraine. Not that I've made any notes of that or anything. Jamie says, clear to see the improvement that Ralf has brought throughout. Yeah, I agree. Ant says, Statman Dave highlighted that since Ralf took over, no team's created as many chances as United. 160 chances on a scale of 1 to fuck me, how frustrating is that? Yeah, and also he's reduced the XG that we're conceding as well. He's done a fucking brilliant job. A brilliant job. He's literally flipped it around, but we're not fucking having it, are we, at the same time? So, all right, let's talk about the title for a second. So Rangnick's supposedly saying he thinks Ronaldo's not going to stick around. There's reports saying that he's done with him. Even if that's a stab in the dark, you've got half a chance of being correct there, haven't you? You've got a proper good chance of that being just absolutely bang on, even if you just throw a dart at something. Do I believe it? Yeah, I kind of do, in all honesty. Ronaldo seems to decide his future very, very late because he knows there's probably always going to be suitors for him. United, I don't necessarily think it was a mistake signing him, but I think it might be a mistake to retain him. I think United have to try and move in the direction that's right for us and not pander. You know, let's be honest, perhaps the greatest footballer of all time. We don't need to pander to him, though. United's future will be here in 4 or 5 years' time, and Cristiano Ronaldo, despite the phenomenal condition he's in, will not be. So we have to prioritise what's good for us. Keith says, do you think we'll change our minds about the Super League idea if we end up in the Europa League wilderness? No, absolutely not. Like, football is completely fucking dead if the Super League thing comes off. It's not about... It's honestly not about I would rather United just fucking sink than see that weird closed fucking American style shop come into it. Sam says we need more players at United who carry the ball. Matic, Alanga showed this at the weekend. Matic has really shown us what we're missing, haven't we? Sajaz says we say City bought the title, but we've spent exactly the same amount over the same period and won nothing. How do we use that excuse then? Because we generate money and they've had it pumped into them. It's very, very simple. We've actually spent more on the debt refinancing of the Glazers than we've actually spent on transfers. If you make money, you should be able to spend it. Someone's just put, stop acting hard, you big daft sod. You shit it in Ukraine. Stephen, hang on. That's me in Afghanistan, mate. That was second tour. And then I also went to Iraq voluntarily following that. How about shut the fuck up, you wet knobhead? A chocolate starfish says, hopefully fair play gets City at some point. It's not going to happen. And it's going to get even worse once Newcastle start getting in the fucking mixer. And I says, can I do 15 stat-based comparisons of Klopp's first 15 and Rangnick's first 15? Well, Rangnick's lost 1, hasn't he? Is it 8? Is it 8 draws, 8 win, and 1 loss? And what he's done in the middle of that is just even different, isn't it? Joe Blogg says, I love Ronaldo, but he needs to go. We need to build a new confidence and new egos, maybe. Ross says, if I was the manager with this group of players, what style would I implement and what I reckon would make us the most effective? You're going to struggle playing that style of football with Maguire effectively. And that's why you've got to bring him in. We've done a video today talking about a defender that you could bring in. Mint one as well. Ronaldo could have had a hat-trick at the weekend. Will Buffon ever retire? That's a good one. Chat's going absolutely bonkers. I'm going to try and get through as many as I can here, though. Rangnick lost 1 because the team wasn't up for it against Wolves. Yeah. If we're moving to a new transfer policy of no high-profile name, I mean, I don't necessarily know if that's the case. You can still bring in high-profile names, but they've got to have the right character around them. Would I take Nagelsmann if Ten Hag's not available? Yeah, but I'd question why Nagelsmann wants to leave Munich. Why does he want to leave Munich? Don't we think you should mind our business and let the Glazers mind theirs? You fucking what now? Iraq or Afghanistan for holiday? There's no beach in Afghanistan. A lot of sand, but no beaches. Did we end up giving away them 10 scarves? Janine, how many did we give away in the end? It wasn't 10. Like, there was a couple of people came up to me towards the end of the game. I was like, have I missed them all? And I was like, no. The problem was I saw some people trying to get over to me, but obviously pre-match I am rammed busy. And you know, I tried to stay around and chat to a lot of people at the end of the game. And there were still some scarves there, but yeah, a lot of them, people just didn't come up to us. I was trying to get Sophie to come and watch the game near us somewhere. So people could dish them out, but yeah, I didn't actually manage to chat to too many people, to be honest. Obviously, it was a little bit on the busy side. Chocolate Starfish says, I still take Conte. Oh, no, it's only going to go exactly the same way. Who would I like United to sign? A right back, a centre half, a DM, a striker, and maybe a number 8. So the list that I'd kind of come up with was Selic, Akanji, Kamara, Tillman, and then Haaland or Jonathan David. And I think you could get that for about 130, 150 million, which would be happy days. Will I be on board if Poch get the job, or a divisive fan? No, I'm never going to be a divisive fan. It's not in my nature to be negative to stuff like that. I'm going to always support the club. But you better believe I'll be fucking telling you I told you so when it goes tits up. Ross says, wouldn't Welbeck be a good striker option if we had the chance to resign him? So I mentioned this the other day, right? If you sign a Jonathan David or a Haaland and bring in a Welbeck because you're about to let like Cavani and Ronaldo go, then yes. But if you only bring in Danny Welbeck, people are going to lose their shit in a big way. And they should. What do I think about Sergio Busquets? Quality. Don't think he'd do it for United. Not Laird for right back. I'd promote Laird, but his injury proneness needs proving that he's over it. Would I keep Tuanzebe around for next season? I think he's got to go. He's got to go and play football. Like, his career has just been far too stop-start. Janine says, I only gave one away to some nice guy from Denmark, not sure about Sophie. There was about 3 or 4 people that I saw that had said they'd got a scarf, so someone must have given away some of them. Ronan says, I'd start sitting Ronnie for these league games. Realistically, he's not going to do much against City and Liverpool, and realistically, we're only playing for the Champions League this season. That's a good point. What's the option then? To play Bruno as a false 9, because there is no other number 9 unless Cavani starts coming into work, which obviously there was a rumour of earlier, wasn't there? Ethan says, why can't Maguire get a speed coach? He's sure, I'm sure that can be coached to run faster. You might be able to coach someone to run a little bit faster, but if Mbappe tries to run past you on the halfway line, there's no drugs or coach in the world that's making Maguire compete in that scenario. Pizza or burger, says Shump. No, pizza, man. Come on, you don't want me by now. Have I heard anything more about what's... I haven't heard anything about what's happening with Phil Mitchell. Paul Mitchell. Everyone got the proper wrong end of the stick the other day. When I was saying I can't say what I was about to say, it wasn't me. Wasn't me saying I know what's happening with him, because I don't know what's happening with him. I still can't tell you what I was going to tell you, but I don't know what's going on with him. But yeah. Would a prime Darren Gibson get into our midfield? Fucking probably. Dan United says, I couldn't care less if Ronaldo does nothing more for us. I'll never forget the feeling when he returned in that second goal versus Newcastle. Yeah, those moments like that. Do I think Rashford should go out on loan? What? No. Just needs to get his head back on right. Against City, surely we should just play in a counter and try and get Rashi in behind. Yes, I agree on that. Heath says, hi Stephen, if they played today, Stam, Keane, Rooney, which of the current team would you pack around the team? What do you mean? I mean, Stam, Keane and Rooney just levels this team up to just being competitive. Stam, Keane and Rooney would be sensational in this team. Doesn't matter. Just figure anything else. What for predictions in March? Do we win any of these big fixtures coming up? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I just lost it. The comments are sort of freezing and then doing that just as I actually start reading one of them. Someone mentioned, am I going to do the comparison between our warm-up and United's? I will do, yeah. Showmaful says, remember me, House. Remember when you call me names when I criticise Ronaldo? You'll definitely ignore me now. Well, wrong again, our kid. I didn't criticise you for criticising Ronaldo. You was just talking utter shit and wouldn't drop it even when we acknowledged it. Has Ronaldo been perfect? No, obviously not. He's not been perfect in the slightest. Is he the problem, though? No. If you didn't have Ronaldo this season, you're out of the Champions League, and it's not like the club would have just gone and bought Haaland instead, is it? Like, he was an opportunistic signing. I think they thought they could have gone with Rashford, Martial and Cavani, and obviously Greenwood. Circumstances being what they are, Martial was injured for most of the season, and then when Ralf came in, he's like, fuck this noise, I'm off. Didn't want to be here. Marcus is in just horrific form. Mason's unavailable, and we'll call it that and nothing else. And Cavani hasn't been available. So, has Ronaldo been perfect? No. He is not the problem at United. The problem is there's nobody else in form in the fucking squad. So you can't sit him out. The only other option that you've got, if Ronaldo's being shit, is to go, do you know what, let's try Bruno up front. He's not a fucking striker. It's Bruno, it's Ronaldo, it's try and convince Cavani to put a fucking shirt on, or it's try Charlie McNeil from the academy. That's it. That's your options. So you're going, Ronaldo's a fucking problem. He's not in form. He ain't the reason that United aren't winning, though. Did I see Fernandes tear it up on the left-hand side for the 23? Perhaps Shaw should be watching and taking notes. Luke Shaw could go and watch League 2 and take notes. Set up our character at Stamford Bridge against City and Liverpool. Dealing with the back three, though, is different, isn't it? Who'd win in a fight between Paul Mitchell and Phil Mitchell? Phil Mitchell's, definitely. Floating Man says, Michael, Bruno has missed more chances than Ronaldo. Is he a bigger problem? The finishing is a problem. Are Murta and Fletcher going to do any better in the next window compared to Woodward? Who knows? Is the next rundown the same day as the Rhodes Cup semi? I don't know the date of the Rhodes Cup semi unless it's been released on the FA website and I've not actually seen it. I don't know. I don't think we'd planned the next rundown just yet because we don't know what's happening with my operation. So I think we just got to wait. Hopefully I'll know more after tomorrow, but even then it might be a little bit longer. Would I take Ancelotti over Poch? Yes. Poch, you could find me 40 managers I'm taking over Poch. And I sit here saying I think it'll be Poch. That's our next manager. Could you play Sancho or Elanga as a 9? Yeah, probably. This team was top heavy. That entire front line had attitude issues with Ronaldo. We dismantled the young forwards for Ronaldo. Who the fuck did we dismantle? You got to make a statement like that, mate. Do you know what? Just fuck off. Honestly, absolute fucking widge. Sim says, when Rashford was in top form, he managed 17 league goals, and that's never going to win you a Premier League. It was also from the wing. I mean, 17 league goals. Fucking Michael Owen got a Ballon d'Or with 16. Fact. Thoughts on Darwin Núñez? Baller. What about McTominay? He used to be a striker. Yeah, and he was shit at that and all. I don't know why he ended up going... Well, I do, because Jose wouldn't sanction the signing of a number 9. Pinch Weasel says, still I have concerns about the amount of experience leaving in the summer. Same. chances of World War III happening due to the Ukraine stuff, says Tyson Fury. Interesting. I honestly don't know, but I didn't like how Putin sort of reacted to being like NATO being aggressive, so I'm gonna put nukes to like threat level 1. You're like, you're gonna do fucking what now? That doesn't seem like a very good idea, does it? Well, that's what he did. Andy Petty says Paddock over 30/vets team. Once we sort our own facilities out, as at the moment, like the biggest expense and the biggest problem for us is finding training space. The priority is going to be getting like under 6s and up to under 16s boxed off. Does Rashford risk becoming another Dele Alli? I think people just need to relax. The guy's had some serious injuries last season, and he's just been shit this season. It's allowed, you know. It's allowed. It's not ideal, but it's allowed. Over a long career, everyone will forget about this. Rangnick coach makes a mistake with CR7 because his proper place is on the right-hand side of the left wing, not in the centre. Yeah, 10 years ago maybe, but not now. Alex One says, why do I think Ronaldo's dribbling ability has declined so much? His agility has gone down dramatically after the age of 35. Age is real. Your reactions are going to change. I also think United don't pass progressively through the middle quick enough at all for me. And that's a massive massive thing. We're not getting in behind defences enough. And it's hard to break teams down when they're in front of you. It's just difficult to do. Kevin says, how long do we need to wait for someone to convince the Glazers they can still have dividends and give the director of football? I don't think it's ever going to happen. Tom says, you might disagree, but Rashford was one of the first out in the summer. I absolutely would disagree with that, to be honest. I absolutely would disagree. He's allowed to have a bad season. And if you're having a bad season, you get dropped. You don't just sell you. Like, Rashford's is a form issue. Someone like Maguire, it's probably a suitability issue. Someone like Shaw, he's been here nearly a decade and hasn't done anything. You know, Rashford's been here 6 years. He's had some sensational seasons and then has been injured for a couple of them. It's allowed. Cole said, how would I personally integrate McNeil into the first team like we do with Mason this season or next? I've said this a few times, but Mason's integration into the first team was one of the most planned and sort of dripped in that I've ever seen. Like, most well thought out sort of integrations into the first team ever. Marcus and almost every single other player, you steal someone's place when someone gets injured. It's the only way young players ever typically get given an opportunity. Would I take Bielsa over Poch? Yeah. Bielsa will do really good with a good team. He's got this Leeds team, which is a pure championship level team, up to 9th in the Premier League. You know, this overplaying over how Poch didn't spend any money. He didn't spend any money one season. And I remember arguing about it at the time when I said the 11, I said at the time, they probably could do with some depth, admittedly. But their starting 11 needed like a superstar 80, 90, 100 million pound signing to come in and improve it. Because their starting 11 at the time was fucking sick. Like, if I go, what year was it? 2018? Or was it 2019? I think it might have been 2019. Yeah, right. So let's have a look at Tottenham Hotspur 2019 season. And list out what their squad was for that season, right? And you go through it and you go, right, what sort of form, what sort of whatever these lot were in. So they had Lloris in goal, who was a good first choice goalkeeper. To improve on that, you're going to have to spend Kepa level money, right? Which Spurs were never going to do. That's not their game. That's never what they've been about. In defence, Alderweireld, Vertonghen. Okay, sensational. Davinson Sanchez was getting sort of brought into it a little bit. Ben Davies was coming into it a little bit. And then it was kind of like Danny Rose and Trippier. At the time, Danny Rose was sick. He was on form. And Trippier at fullback was class, right? So and then they also had Serge Aurier, who's class, and Kyle Walker-Peters and Davinson Sanchez as their backups, right? In midfield, the main players for them really was I suppose, Ericsson, who at the time, sensational. Dele Alli was in form, Moussa Sissoko, and then they had like Eric Dyer, Harry Winks, Wanyama, Lamela as backups, right? Pretty stacked. Up front, Heung-min Son, Alexa, shut up. Llorente, who was your off-the-bench sort of impact player who chipped in with 8 goals. You had Son, you had Kane, and then you had... Did they have Moussa Dembele that season? Either way, right? So the starting 11 that they was putting out on a week by... And Lucas Moura as well, right? So the starting 11 that they were putting out on a week-by-week basis was strong. It was solid. To improve that, you had to bring in a 70, 80, 90 million pound player, which Spurs was never going to do. So I don't think it was necessarily... And also, Paul Mitchell went. And then they didn't sign anyone. Because he was the guy that signed people. So all this, Poch did it without spending anyone. Do you think he was going to do it without spending anyone? He just couldn't. And it wasn't an easy improvement. Aurier is class. He wasn't class in that season, but he is class. Dele Alli was in form that season. Whether you like it or not, he was. It's like the revisionism of Anderson and Cleverley. At one point, they were class as a midfield 2 for United. I think one of the seasons, 2011 when we won the league, those two were genuinely class. Yeah, what happened to Winks? Winks has gone shit since then, but he was good that season. Anthony Jarvis says, one positive is Poch is young and can still learn, perhaps with the pressure. Behave. Perhaps with the pressure fans will put on him, he may raise to the task. Yeah, like he's done at PSG. Like, his win rate is like 10% worse than what Emery's was and what Tuchel's was. I can't understand how people are so for him. I really don't. DB Cooper's got a question for Janine. If you was a Spice Girl, what Spice Girl would you be? Or what would your Spice name be? Interesting. If Tottenham won the league, they could have overtaken London. And here's the thing, right? All of the Poch apologists were like, United spent more. Yeah, we did. We know United are run like a fucking absolute circus. But Leicester didn't. And I don't think at the time Arsenal did either. McLaren says, I'll give you Anderson, but not Cleverley. You should go back and watch him that season. He was genuinely flying. Oliver Price says, heading to RMAS, that's Sandhurst, for anyone not conversant, in January. Need to do regimental visits, thinking about rifles or INTCOR. 2 very different jobs. I know your thoughts on them. Interesting. As an officer, INTCOR officer or enlisted is going to be absolute black belt, Excel and PowerPoint presentations. Typically, right, here's what an int brief would typically be. It'd be like, so the weather's about 15 degrees and it's going to be cloudy. And we've heard there's a Dushka in the area. That's like a 12mm sort of like rifle. This is what knows. I'm just giving you for your information. There's a Dushka in the area, so watch out for that. And we think all the Taliban have gone home for Christmas. That's your fucking int brief. Obviously, they want to go home for Christmas. Go home for the winter. End of int brief. Every day. I remember in the build-up to Christmas Day 2006, it was like nothing's happened now for like 21 days. Mint. Rifles got some really cool traditions. It's a shame they amalgamated them. There were some really good regiments, light infantry, the Royal Green Jackets, and I think the Yorkshire regiments, maybe. I could be wrong on that. I think they all got amalgamated into what the Rifles have become since. Rifles seems pretty sound, though, if you're thinking going for an infantry regiment. Otherwise, I don't know. I couldn't tell you what to go in because I don't know you. What sport are you into? There's sporting opportunities there, but you've got to figure out, I don't know, very, very tough decision to choose where to go into, I think. Chocolate Starfish says Royal Engineers. I mean, again, just it depends on what you're trying to do. Steve, how do I rate Steve Bruce? He was class. Who's a bigger flop, Grealish or Lukaku? None of them will get spoke about because they don't play for United. If we can beat City, can I arrange for Motti to put whipped cream on his head on a Brew episode? Yeah, I'll be up for it. Steve, casual question. Any plans to visit India? We have no plans to visit India that I'm aware of. These comments are getting difficult to read. Sorry, everyone. Let me try and open them up, see if it does. See if popping them out helps. Right, let's see if this has helped at all, because I can open it up now, because they're in a little tiny window, which means that they go super quick. Let me see if this has helped in any sort of way whatsoever. Just close some stuff down because it started to overheat. Righty, there we go. Chocolate Starfishes think we can draw City. I'm not so sure. I'm not looking forward to them games in the slightest. Are we getting Bellingham? I think we want him, but I think he'll be 100 million, and that's a problem. Would Kepa get in Paddock's team? Yeah, let's be real here. Do I still do the warm down? We've been talking about reintroducing it now. COVID's no longer a thing. Remember that? Remember that thing for a minute? Yeah, I want to get some of the YouTubers on. I'm going to try and reach out to some friends that we've got. Spencer, James Alcott, people like that. Some people that are making good football content and you can have good conversations with. Dan says, who do I see as being a quietly astute Premier League signing outside of the obvious shouts we always hear, like Neves, Tillman, etc.? There's some serious talent in the Premier League. Like you can go to a relegated Premier League team and find some gems, absolute gems. It's real. I was in a shop without a mask today. Oh, you fucking rebel! What happened to the fixture list? Do it when we can. Any insight into what players say about training with Ralf? No, I don't actually, but I'll try and find out. Thoughts on where Dean Henderson will go next year? No idea. He's on a lot of money, so someone that pays well. Santa Notch says Worcestershire sauce or Henderson's relish. Hendo by Country Mouth, mate. I don't think I've ever had it. I've seen that little meme, that little video going around of some American talking about, I think it's got ketchup and mayonnaise and Worcestershire sauce. And some rednecks like, Worcestershire sauce! No, that's a be there. Maybe not. Raf says, Steve, Pep has a major tactical flaw, can't deal with counters. Not a coincidence United and Spurs always beat him. Well, not always, but he always struggles, even if he manages to win. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet where United have been able to go and do that under Ralf. The only time that we've seen it at all was under Ralf was against Atletico and we were shit. So I'm not excited about that. Did I see Klopp give more info on the neuroscientist they hired this year for penalties and corners? Seems very interesting and cutting edge stuff. That's it. And United are like, we're going to get a psychologist. You're like, yeah, sports have had them since the 80s, you fucking donuts. Honestly, who do I think will be getting the fourth spot? I don't know. With the amount of games in hand, it doesn't look like it's going to be us, does it? How's the set piece coach not been sacked? Don't know. What do I think of La Mesa? Fucking overrated, clearly. Would I rather have for the next 3 years De Gea or Henderson? I'd probably go with Henderson, to be honest, because of what he offers outside the box. I don't think he's as good a shot stopper as De Gea, but I think he offers more stuff. My signings for 133 million make so much sense and seem achievable in summer, but people paid serious money won't be able to make this happen, can they? No, and that's the thing. Did I see Makhachev's fight? No, I'm not seeing any UFC this weekend. Matthew Hill looking at joining the Paras. Any insight into what it's going to be like daily? Yeah, it's going to be doing a lot of PT, mate. A lot of PT. But if you like that, fucking crack on. Don't let anybody tell you not to do it. Just fucking do it. Go and find out. Great time to bring in a young striker, says Anthony, while CR7 and Cavani are there. The likes of McNeil and that, I expect to probably train him with United's first team constantly, and I don't think they'll be phased playing them. I think you'll probably, if you was allowed to go to Carrington, if I was allowed to go to Carrington, I think you'd probably see some serious 11-a-side games played. And there's obviously a problem translating some of that training form to match days, and experienced players will probably do it a little bit better than like some of the youngsters coming through. But I bet they're not as far off as you think. But in a Premier League game, sometimes those fine margins can cost you a win or a draw or whatever. These comments are killing me. Can you stop with just repeating comments, please? I'm not going to read it if you just copy and paste and just spam me. Anthony Jarvis says, Ralph telling the kid to calm his expectations over Rice and lost that comment because there's too many. Yeah, I agree. It tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? Alex One with a super chat says, one thing Spurs utilised against City was big switches of play to bypass City's press and pull the centre-backs onto 1v1 situations where they can be exposed. I'll give you as a little hint, right? We got a video coming out Wednesday, I think, about a defender. This defender will absolutely shit switches of play. Left-footed, loves to absolutely smash them. Someone saying I missed a super chat. Sorry, I can't load the comments. The comments are just flying too quick for me at the minute, and streaming as well as reading the comments at the same time. My laptop was on 100% when we started. It's now on 27% and it's plugged in. This shit could cook eggs at the moment. It's going mental, so apologies. How likely do I think it's United could go 10 plus years without a title? It's fucking next year. Yeah, 100%, I think, actually. Any news on Hugo? No, I don't have any news on Hugo. How on earth are we going to replace Ronaldo, Cavani, Greenwood and Pogba? Here's the neat part. We're not. Darcy says, make the chat members only. I don't want to just make it members only. We might have to, the way it goes like this. Sometimes it's too hard to see what's going on. Senan says, can I talk a bit about Russia and Ukraine tonight? Sure, ask away. If I see the question, I'll answer it if I know how to answer it. What do I use for my beard? Soap. I don't put anything in it. I know some people fuck about with like oils and stuff like that. No, I don't. I don't think we can change it to slow mode once we're going, so I can't do anything with that. I think Janine's found a super chat for you. You're in luck. Hang on, let me open it up. Chris says, when's the next episode of me and Adam Uncensored? No idea. Getting him into Manchester is a pain in the ass. He's in on Mondays quite often, as you can see with the podcast today. But this is my 7th video of the day. So getting me free to go and do it with him's hard work. Pinch says, if Maguire is a problem, why does he always play on the weaker side, allowing Lindelof or Varane to play on the right? Can't answer that. Is that defender in the Premier League? So the defender that we're doing a video on, no, he's not. He's in the Bundesliga, and it's not a Kanji. I don't think many of you will be onto him, but he's fucking class. He's absolutely fucking class. Janine texted me before as well. I've not replied to her yet, so I'll just reply to her via this if she's watching. I did not feed the dog, so you crack on. If we finish top 6, can we veto Europa League? We wouldn't, because it's worth too much. Do I think the good times will come back against United? Yeah, but I do also worry for the Premier League, because if it just becomes a nation's plaything, like it's not like the richest guy in your town's bankrolling Blackburn again. You know what I mean? Like it was when it was Jack Walker. You're talking about the nation of Abu Dhabi, and you're talking about the nation of Saudi Arabia, and the billions that's almost essentially Russian backed in Roman Abramovich. You can't compete with that. You can't compete with that, and that ultimately leads to an uncompetitive league, which is what it's kind of done in a big way at the moment. Like the gap between like a first division club and a fourth division club in 1991 might have been this much. Now, the gap's that much in the top 10. It's not good. We can do a slow mode in the chat, but I can't do it at the moment. JB says, I thought you were a Manc, but you're from Tameside. It's like someone from Oldham saying they're Manc. Well, I'm actually from Openshaw, and I was born at the MRI. So, not really. Lived in Tameside. You take a fucking fish out of water and put it in a fucking cage. Is it a fucking parrot? Relax yourself. Brian Kevill says it's time to bring back the Ints and Gigs goal celebration or the Sharpie shuffle. Social media would kill people for that now. But they got away with it. Did it get away with it before we'd even won anything as well? No, I think it was after we won stuff, wasn't it? Maybe you get away with it if you win the league. How many matches do I normally watch in a week? Probably about 4 over a weekend, and then a few throughout the week if I can record them. My fucking Sky Dish is fucked at the minute though, so I'm not recording stuff that I think I've recorded. I might need to find other than legal means of recording games, if you're catching my drift. I was born and raised at Old Trafford, says Jacob. There you go. Mujahid says, I agree with you, Steve, but Liverpool are still managing to keep up with City without having a country owner. No, they're not. But they also haven't retained anything. You know what I mean? Bob Burgess, it's not about where you're born and raised, it's about who you are. Yeah. I also have a property with an M1 postcode. You don't get much more in the city centre than that, do you? What do I think will happen when United visit Anfield in a couple of weeks? I think we'll probably fucking lose. Who was the best player for United that you didn't really like? I don't know, you know. I don't really dislike anyone who's played for United, especially if they've won something. I mean, yeah, it might be Michael Owen. I definitely didn't like him. Di Maria, maybe. Is Manchester very flat or hilly? Very flat. And then out towards the east, you start sort of climbing up the Pennines. Tevez, yeah, it could be Tevez, you know. But I liked him when he was here. I didn't like Michael Owen while he was here. Didn't really like Di Maria while he was here either. Would I take Paddock FC on a pre-season tour to the US? We're currently talking about someone taking us on a pre-season tour abroad, and I'll leave it as abroad and no further for now. Heinze, no, I liked Heinze while he was here before he said whatever. They wanted to play for Liverpool. I don't know, yeah. Best non-United player I've seen except R9, Maldini. Some people inexplicably didn't like Kieran Richardson. I didn't like Kieran Richardson. I'm going to be honest with you. Didn't like Kieran Richardson. On a podcast with him next week. I have just seen a video that he's done for a pilot show for something, and it was fucking quality. And he's doing YouTube bits. He's selling watches and stuff now as well. So it seems like I buzz off people who can get into stuff. Like, be into stuff. Be passionate about stuff. And he's passionate about stuff, and I can always roll with that. Oh, Andrew Logan. Yes, that is who I am talking about. Yes. And I know someone who plays with him at the moment as well. So, yes, it is the one. That's the defender. What's your thoughts on him? How do I like my state? Rare. Yeah, pretty rare. I've been tempted to try blue at some point, in all honesty. But I've never done it yet. We had really good steak at our wedding, actually. We had like an outdoor barbecue with steak. Why did people not like Kieran Richardson? I don't know. I just couldn't take to him. I didn't think he was that good when he played at United. A lot of people saying Ashley Young, maybe. But yeah, I couldn't take to him. I don't know why. Should we just raid Bundesliga for players? I think you have a lot of success in League One as well, in all honesty. Have I had my treatment yet? No, I am at my consultant's tomorrow tea time. So hopefully I'll have some news later in the week. Simon Andrews says blue steak is gorgeous. I'm just not keen on one that's it's got to be a proper steak place, I think, that you go and do it. Because some of them, especially ones where you're not sure how long the steak's been in the fridge or something, you need them proper fresh, because I think it comes with a lot of water, and I'm not keen on that. Will says, thinking of joining Navy Rotary Obs. I'm not sure what that is. What's the opinion of the infantry for those kind of roles? Did you see much of them? I don't know what the Navy Rotary Obs is, mate. Sorry. What am I getting surgery for? I've got something called chronic exertional compartment syndrome in my calves, and I'm going to get them sliced open and fixed so I can get running like a motherfucker. Any chance we've got any away kits from last season? About trying to have all the kits, missed them last season. I don't know, Janine. I don't know if there's any away kits left. I suspect not. There's a couple of bits of last season, maybe a training top or a home kit or whatever, but there's not a lot. And there's also, I think, something like 16 home and about 20 away left from this season. So if you want to get one of the paddock kits from this year, there's only 16 and 20 left, so you better get them in the mix. Oh, Janine says, yeah, there's only smalls left in black from last season. Yeah, every kit that we've done has kind of just flown out, in all honesty. So I guess that's a good thing. Next seasons are already in the pipeline, so I can't wait for us to drop them. Mankey says, am I going to set up my home office after my op so I can have these lives while being immobile? Correct. I'll probably bring my PC from work home, because I think I'm going to be off for a month or two when I get back. Steve, when I'm off air after a United loss, do my emotions fester for ages? Mine doing it shite. No, I think I don't take them that bad, to be honest. What pisses me off is the overreaction, often in the comments. I think the comments just piss me off more than anything. Janine says the away kit is tasty next season. We've gone in a different colour for next season. Of course, we've got the green and gold as well. Hopefully, we're going to be doing the green and gold. How do I get the shirt? Contact on Instagram or something like that and speak to Janine. She might be able to send you a link. Yeah, the away kit for next season's mint. In fact, well, the whole range is actually sick. Puma have done a fucking belting job again. It is not purple. Are there any trials for the club? If you turn up on a Tuesday 6 till 7 or a Friday 6 till 7, you can join in. Did I ever watch The Lads at the Cliff? Nothing like watching Scorsese smashing volleys, says Ant. Yeah, I did. When I was about 14, went and watched a few sessions in the summer. Will we ever have a Mid-90s kit, blue and white style away kit? We could have had one this year like that, actually, but we chose against it. You'll be impressed when you see it, I'm certain. Is it wrong to say we might target Ukrainian and Russian markets for bargains? For players, I don't really think there's much out there, in all honesty. What's the coach in a paddock going to look like post-surgery? Well, we work on a 16-week coaching curriculum. I'll tell you what that is. Actually, it might be easier to pull up on my notes. So we have a 16-week coaching curriculum, which covers everything that we're teaching with the players. One thing I would recommend to anyone who's coaching is don't be reactive. Like, if you don't score a load of goals one weekend, don't do shooting the next weekend. And if you get smashed one week, don't do defending the next weekend. Definitely just look at thinking, here's what I'm going to do, plan it out in advance, and just work systematically through it, logically, so the players can actually build upon the knowledge from one week to the next, rather than jumping from crossing to defending to set pieces to this, that, and the other. Before I tell you this, someone's just asked a pretty good one. Our fitness watch is worth it. Now, everyone thinks that this is a fitness watch. It's not a watch. There's no face on it. You'll see that it's got a sensor on the back. There's no face on it. It's literally just blank. This is what Tuan Zabi had on. And everyone said he was wearing an Apple Watch. It's not. It's called a Whoop. I'll put a link on my story, because I think if you use my code, I get a free month and you guys get a free month, I think. So I'll put a link to it on my story on Instagram in a bit. Whoop's sensational. Like, if I could show you what sort of data you get. I haven't been at the gym today. I've purposely just avoided going to the gym in the build-up to doing this, but I'll turn the brightness down just a bit so hopefully you can see it. So you get all sorts of data like this. You can see your sleep. You can see when you were awake, what sort of disturbances you had, when you exercise. So if I take it back, we did a hike yesterday, so you can see what your heart rate was like through the hike. You see a map of where you went. You can see all the different metrics and stuff like that. Whoop's fucking mint. It's absolutely class. Right, so I'll tell you through. This is the 16 weeks that we do of coaching, and we repeat that 3 times throughout the season. So week 1, we are currently we're on the 8th week in our rotation through this. Is it waterproof? Yeah, you can wear it in the you can wear it in the shower or whatever. I think you can swim with it as well. There's also like a waterproof cover that you can put over it. The charger, I thought my charger was up here. It might be downstairs. The charger's like a little clamshell that goes over it, so you never take it off. So here's our 16 weeks. So attacking build-up, so that's playing out from the back. Attacking progression, middle third. Attacking, creating and finishing. Attacking, third man runs is week 4. Week 5, defending, high block, triggers and traps. Week 6 is defending long balls and switches. Week 7 is transitions, defending transitions. Week 8 is defensive set pieces. Week 9 is defending the box. Week 10 is defending counters and scramble defense. Week 11 is transitions to attack. Week 12 is attacking set pieces. And then that's 12 weeks on that one. And that's where the season ends, actually. So that's just the end of the season, and then it starts again. So this is what it goes through again. Build-up play, playing out from the back. Progression, middle third. Creating and finishing. Third man runs. Attacking, through balls, playing into space. Defending transitions. Defending high block. Long balls and switches. Set pieces. Counters and scramble defense. Defending in a low block. Attacking set pieces. Possession under pressure. Breaking a low block. Transitions to attack. And then it starts again with build-up play and playing out from the back. That's literally what we're going to be doing from 4th of April all the way through to the 1st of August. Do I drink any cocktails? Yeah, rum and coke. Would Whoop work in BJJ? Yeah, tape it up, because there is a little bit of an edge to it, which I think you'd catch someone. So if you maybe put like a sweatband over it and tape the sweatband down, I think you'd probably be fine. Alex says, I can feel a sponsorship coming for next videos. We actually was meant to have a sponsorship with a football team with them, and it was right in the middle of the transition from the Whoop 2 to the Whoop 3, and they'd run out of microchips for it, so they cancelled it. But I'd love to get them back in the mix, to be honest, because I think it'd be perfect. I'd really love to see what sort of impact when you found out what everyone's doing as a whole has on performance and stuff like that. Thoughts on a potential Kane swoop? Zero interest. Jan says, I was in the Keep in Rotterdam in 91. Oh, fantastic. I'm so jealous. How high is the level of the SAS? I've never really directly worked with them. I've met plenty. I think they're just fit as fuck and dedicated, very, very fucking good soldiers, I'm sure. Can the Whoop sync to a heart rate monitor chest strap? We don't need to. It's got a heart rate monitor in it. That's monitoring you for the entire day. Steve must feel like a kid in a candy store doing 5 with Rio. It's pretty surreal. Is last year's black and gold kit coming back? Nope. What's my prediction for 2 biggest early signings under Poch versus Ten Hag? I have no idea. Which non-United kit would I consider wearing for the aesthetic? Don't really wear football shirts. Which goal did I celebrate the most? Was it Ollie at Barcelona? There's a very good chance it was Ollie's at Barcelona. Very, very, very good chance it was Ollie's at Barcelona, I think. If I scored in a final or a last minute with a flying error, which trophy would it be? It's got to be the Champions League. You rarely win a league with a last minute goal, do you? It's got to be the Champions League. Will Mata be in the squad next year, says Dejan. I doubt it. I think the time has come for Mata to call it a day. Should we hire a consultant to explain with the Glazers they'd make even more money if they win? I don't think they care. What's United's best away kit of all time? The black, blue, gold 94 for me, says Pinch Weasel, or the White Cup Winners' Cup kit. I'm going to say the White Cup Winners' Cup kit, but the black kit was sick. KCV Music says, should I buy Athletic Hospitality or try and find regular? I would say you're probably going to be able to find regular, but if you can't and you're like traveling fairly far, I would say, do you know what? Pump for Hospitality, because especially if you do it through the official club thing, at least you know you're not going to get done in. Favourite 3 players in the post-Fergie era? Probably Mata. Probably Mata. Rashford. It might have been Falcao, to be honest with you. At my funeral, would I want the Champions League music played? I don't care, mate. Wrap me in the fucking flag and throw me in the ground. I don't care. I'm dead. Do you think we should get Benjamin Sesko from Salzburg? I don't know enough about him, mate. About that. Yeah, it probably was Cavani. It probably was Cavani. Or maybe even Bruno, actually. How did the opportunity to do Vibe with 5 come about? Rio's channel is called 5. Don't know if you knew that. I do 5 things we learned. They liked it. They asked me to do 5 things we learned about the Premier League each week. Started doing it. Joel and Rio started adding their 2Ps to it. And I just said to them, look, this is clunky as fuck. Why don't we just do a podcast? We're all sitting down to record our bits separately. Why don't we just like jump on StreamYard and do it? And that was it. And it's turned out to be a pretty good podcast. We're actually up for an award next week, so I'm heading down to London. Hopefully we win. I have no idea if we will. Notch says, I was so lucky to be there to see Ollie's goal at Barcelona. Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm absolutely jealous. That's fucking class. Who was in Ibiza for that? When evaluating players, do I use the outline that Rennie has in his book? The Rennie book's right there. Do I risk it and fuck this camera up? Let me see if I can get it. I got it. I didn't kill it. Right, let's have a look. What was the outline? What page are we on? What page is it on? I'll just stick straight to it. Thoughts on Carl Pilkington? Things a fucking legend. I'd love to have him on a podcast. Is Cam still playing for Paddock? Yeah, it's just a new job. He's still playing for Paddock. People forget how good a finisher Ollie was. Oh, they absolutely do. Mankey says, I love how all the journalists are always tuned in for the Rio scoop. Where does the name Gazzetta della 5 come from? It's a play on Gazzetta della Sport. Am I a tequila guy? No, I am a rum guy. Pilkington is a United fan. Yeah, I believe he is. Akbar says Champions League Varane and Ronaldo will win United the Champions League. MRI is going to be having issues in 9 months' time. How many levels is Paul McGrath above our current midfield? He was a centre half for one, and he's levels above our current centre halves. More content with Rene's fan. It's so interesting. Also love the videos that he did with the girl recently. Did the tactical breakdowns. John Neal says Paddock so unlucky Saturday. Was we unlucky? Don't know if we was unlucky, to be honest. I didn't think we turned up. We didn't play our game. You can see it after a fucking minute. What the fuck is all that about? It's just mistakes again. We've not been outplayed. We've lost 2 big league games that we probably deserve to by mistakes that we've made. We lost one earlier in the season when we fucking battered them, and you go, I don't know how we've come away losing this. The last 2 ones, yeah, we've not been good enough. They're easier to take, I think, than the ones where you think you deserve to win it. Video on Rennie's ideals from the book. Yeah, maybe. It's a fucking great book. I mean, you can see by how much I've thumbed it. It's a fucking great, great book. And there's supposedly a part 2 coming from this, which, yeah, I'll be first in line for that. What camera am I using? For the sort of setup that you're looking, like the one I have in the office, it's a better camera. This one's got a little bit of fisheyiness going on, which I'm not a fan of. For that sort of setup, that's a Sony A7S II. You know, they're about $1,000 even second hand. Then you got to get a good lens on it. That could be a few £100. You need a cam link. You need a mic compressor. I mean, these mics aren't cheap. These are a couple of ton. You can end up spending a fortune. So for this one at home, instead of just doing all that again, I went with a webcam. It's an Elgato one. So it's a little bit of a more high-end webcam, which I don't really like the aesthetic of webcams, but this kind of works, doesn't it, for this? It's meant to be a bit more relaxed and all that sort of stuff. So this works for me for at home, I think. Tell Rio to tell BT to hire Clive Tilsley. How's he not got a job, by the way? Mark says, know anything on Mike Phelan and what he actually does at United these days? Is he at odds with Ralph? I doubt it, because I don't think he'd be there if he was at odds with Ralph. You should put fake news on Vibe with 5 and see if the journals bite. We should, shouldn't we? On Mike Phelan, I mean, I tried to get him to tell me what his actual job was. Alex 1 says page 122 for Rennie player evaluation. Right, I'll read that out in a sec. As we got in the lift at our place with Mike, when we did the show with him in the summer, I said, what's your exact role at United at the moment? And he just fucking screwed me because he went, same as always. And I went, oh, okay. What the fuck does that mean? Right, let's have a look. 122. It's a thick book. There's 256 pages in the book. So you're getting your money's worth with it. There's a lot of drills in here. There's a lot of drills I do in here, to be fair, as well. 122. Here we go. This side. Rennie Mullenstein's player profile model overview. And he says, I developed this player profile. It gives a very transparent insight into player qualities. No, I haven't used this. I haven't even noticed this in here, to be honest. So he goes, right, physical, change of pace, out of 10, attacking and defending. Strength, out of 10, attacking and defending. Stamina, this is the same for all. Coordination, balance, agility, and flexibility. I might start using this. So he's broken down into physical, tactical, confidence, and technical. That's very similar to what you sort of taught what to do on the coaching courses. Every sort of session needs to be broken down into that sort of stuff. Tactical, decision-making, positional, 1v1 defending. Oh, it's different, this one. So defending is positional, 1v1 defending, interceptions and tackling, heading and timing, cover and support, communication, leadership. Attacking is positional, movement, one-touch passing, passing, switching, 1v1 dribbling, crossing and heading. Confidence is don't get beat, out of 10, defending. Character, hard worker, winning attitude, communicator, leader, body language. I think that this confidence one's interesting. Attacking, confidence, self-belief, initiative, winning attitude, team player, leader, body language. And then technical is just heading and tackling in terms of defending. And then in attacking, one-touch passing. See, how's this decision-making, one-touch passing? Oh, okay. There's a lot of them are repeated. I might try that with a few of our players and see what I'll come up with. Alex One says, yeah, a lot of what we do in Canada is actually based off it, especially when scouting players. Interesting. I mean, Rennie's ace. You listen to Rennie and you feel way smarter when talking about football. And I would have imagined sitting down with like Johan Cruyff, you just come away going, what? Am I going to publicise it when Rio makes a cameo for a Paddock game? I think with his back at the moment, it's looking unlikely. So I don't know. Anthony says, I think Joe still doesn't know why he's deadlifting. It's a thing. Why his deadlifting is a thing. Love that. Yeah. Joe got dumped and got into deadlifting. That's what happened. I don't think he got dumped. It was a mutual agreement. Whatever that means. But yeah, he got into deadlifting. Fair fucking play. He's fucking battering me at the minute, and I'm not happy about it. Joe's a big lad, though. He's 6'6" and not skinny. Or 6'5" and not skinny. But I'm not happy that he's fucking doing me on deadlifts at all. He's just waiting until I get this calf sorted, and then I'm fucking having him. John says, why United so low on confidence, but we could go and win the Champions League. Liam says, Rennie and Ralph equals fire. Oh, doesn't it just? What's my PR? My PR is 220. I am fucking years away from that at the moment. I've got, like I said, was it today on the podcast? We're talking about it with Joe. Joe's up at about 185 at the minute, but I'm doing 170 and getting proper bad disco leg. And I know I'm at my limit at the moment at 170. I can't go any higher than that. I'm all over the fucking place at 170, so not good. Ant says, Steve could have a great Paddock game with who we've had on Vibe. Van Nistelrooy, Rio. Can you imagine the other team's faces? Jesus Christ, yeah, can you? Anton was going to sign on. I'm with Anton on Wednesday, actually, in London. Anton was going to sign on because he's playing a vets thing. I think Anton would probably still be fucking quality. He's only about 35. He'd be fucking mint. Would us rather us beat City in the Champions League final or Liverpool win the quadruple? Oh, would I rather City beat us in the Champions League final or Liverpool win the quadruple? Oh, fuck off with that question. How about that? One rival player I wish United signed. Variety. Get Ralph Little and Will Miller on. Yeah, I mean, I know the guy who's producing that, actually, so I probably could get that. Stretford Paddock cycling team. What? Nassim says, just tuned in, wanted to ask what fitness watch I'm using. It's not a watch, it's called a Whoop. Go on my Instagram in a bit and I'll put it on. Miss Stephen House on Instagram. Anton was decent for West Ham. He was decent for Sunderland as well. The mad thing is, I think he's like, he's got a whole thing in his head, I reckon. because he wasn't Rio. I think he probably, thinks less of himself as a defender. But if he was your family member that made it, you'd be so proud of him, wouldn't you? Sir Paul Scholes says, do I think it's a bit unfair to sign ex-pro players for Stratford Paddock FC? No. Because there's all, like, Larnell Cole played in our league last year. Larnell Cole. Who played for Manchester United and then Fulham in the Premier League. There's a lot of ex-pros playing down at this level. You'd be fucking shocked. Like, a lot of our opposition have played hell of a good non-league, and lots of them will all be ex-academy at some level. Who would I buy from the bottom teams or teams I think are going down? Who's going down? Norwich. Max Aarons. So you could literally say you got to take someone from every team that goes down, and you probably find someone that would improve you. Any chance of having fans and subscribers on a rundown or something? Yes, we spoke about that potentially. Who started full-time Dell? Was a guy called Pete, who's a United fan that worked in media, and was like, there's nothing out there like this, so I'm going to start it. And then he started it, and then he got moved. So someone else had to pick the project up. John said, Alex is buzzing to get his green and gold shirt on Saturday. I think his might have been the first inside Old Trafford that he's definitely the first I'm aware of, but I think his might have been the first one inside Old Trafford. Thoughts on the whole Chelsea owner thing after someone tell the Scousers they're not winning the quadruple. Also, someone should tell the Scousers they're not winning the quadruple. Thoughts on the whole Chelsea owner thing? I kind of line up a little bit what Gary Neville said. They put out some little PR statement. And then, yeah, they think everyone would buy that and call it quits. Probably. Where did Cam go? I'll let Cam tell you when he's ready to. Would I take Phillips from Leeds if they go down? No. Gibbo's at Salford City, isn't it? He was. I don't know if he still is. Anton should get involved with a Masters football comeback. That's a good shout, actually. What's my thoughts on war games such as Call of Duty, being someone who served in the army? I've never played it. I have no idea. So I don't know. Does Cam's new job prevent him playing from Paddock? No. Who would take Ivan Toney, and if so, how much? Manchester City should, really, because he would score all the goals for them. If I had the choice between Rice at 100 million or Phillips at half or even a quarter, who am I taking? Rice, but you've got to think who else is going to do whatever. I don't know. It depends on what you're doing with the rest of the on the rest of the window. Stream is kind of like it. Yeah, I think we are down to 5%. This is where it starts going west, isn't it? So right, I'm going to wrap it up there, but cheers to everybody that's tuned in. As usual, the computer's done us. We'll have to get a better PC for up here, won't we? Because it seems like this is the thing that seems to be killing them too much, more than anything else. But nice one for everyone. For tuning in. And I guess I've got a busy week on this week. I'm at the consultants tomorrow, and then I'm in London on Wednesday and London on Friday, so it's limiting how many videos I get to do this week. So, on top of my PS4, why does it say drunk? We need to know. I'll show you them next time. It's the drunk, stupid, like, drinking game cards. So there's probably going to be quite a few late night lives this week. So hit subscribe, come tune in, and we'll see you in a bit. Laters.